On today's episode, we talk about the movie Synchronic. He's Jay, I'm Alan, that's Ben.
Three Bros, Three Opinions, all that movies.
This is Movie Jabs. Let's go. Stolen.
So this was done in 2019, and we've been 2019. We've been waiting
2012.
forever to see this, and it only came out in theaters, which was annoying as crap. So it took us forever to get to see it.
They're not open around us.
Yeah. But so Anthony Mackie and Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. They're both firefighters.
Just a swing.
They're both firefighters, and they're in New Orleans. New Orleans. Yeah. So they're there, and they're seeing a bunch of random deaths that are like unexplainable. Like, how are these happening? What's going on? And they're disgusting deaths. Like, a lot of them
like
are
stab wounds.
They got one dude chopped into pieces. A lot of weird, disgusting things.
Person who was like burned, like completely to nothing.
Like totally burned.
They don't know what's going on. They can't figure it out. And in the beginning, it shows all of this stuff. And then finally, when it gets to the point, you see that there's a designer drug called Synchronic out. And it's like a play on bath salts and whatever else that you can buy at like 7-Eleven. It's not a play.
It is bath salts. Even the chemist says like it's a
But when they said it was bath salts on the news, he was like,
"That's not right.
I don't know where he got that from."
Right. So this movie is a time travel movie, and I usually get frustrated and hate time travel.
They really
did this in a different way.
That's why
totally different.
They did this in a totally different way.
Yeah.
And I will say that like maybe it's been done before, but I've seen a lot of nerdy movies because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, you have.
And I've never seen time travel done like this.
And you are.
Yeah. I've never seen time travel done like this before, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Really liked it. Because it was so different. So strange.
I usually hate time travel movies, and I actually enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it was so strange.
It was different.
It was different.
Yeah, it was a different thing, yeah.
So everybody has a brain, and you have a pineal gland in your brain. When you're younger, your pineal gland is nice and fresh and wet and moist and yummy.
Yeah, like a nice little cherry.
Yeah. But when you get older, once you get to like a teenager to an adult, it starts to calcify and get hard. So it kind of becomes, I don't know, I'm not a neuroscientist.
It's like my biceps.
Yeah, calcified and hard.
Rock solid.
And then you're when it gets calcified and hard, it's not used the same way.
Yeah.
So the Synchronic, it affects your pineal gland directly.
Yeah.
It directly affects your pineal gland. And so all these kids were disappearing, but all these adults were ending up dead.
Yeah.
And they didn't know why.
That's the difference. The kids time travel, the adults just die.
Well, they time travel too, but they can't stay. Like, it affects them differently
right.
to where the time travel doesn't work the same. So they figure all this stuff. Well, they don't figure this out. Anthony Mackie figures this out because after Christian Grey's, and I'm sorry, I'm calling him Christian Grey, I just can't help it. After Christian Grey's daughter disappears, Anthony Mackie is furious because he loves the kid. Like, it's his adopted. He treats her like his adopted
niece.
daughter. Yeah, it's his niece.
It's his niece.
He's the uncle.
And he's so mad. He wants to find her, and it turns out he has a brain tumor, and his brain tumor is completely unique because his pineal gland is that of a adolescent child.
That's what they say.
Where he doesn't have
right.
So he figures that out through going to the doctors and all this stuff, and then when he talks to the guy who invented Synchronic, he figures out
the chemist.
Hey, the chemist.
First off, you mean the guy that breaks into his house?
Yeah. But anyway, so he figures that out.
Real quick, are we doing like spoilers, or are we
clearly
we're clearly spoiling this movie?
Yeah, we're spoiling the S out of it.
Yeah,
but we're not gonna spoil it all. We're not gonna spoil it all. But you cannot review it. You cannot talk about this without explaining this. It's just too impossible.
I'll give him that.
It's too impossible to not explain this.
I'll concede.
So when he finally figures out what's going on with the pineal gland and blah 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 blah, and he can do it, he starts experimenting. And that's when he starts taking these effects of time traveling.
Popping thinkies.
That's
right. And that's when this movie gets really interesting. This movie gets really interesting until then.
I thought the first 30 minutes were kind of boring.
Right. The first 30, 40, whatever, until he starts taking Synchronic, the movie kind of, you don't know what direction it's going. You get this eerie feel of like,
you're not I get it. You're not happy it's easy drug abuse.
Yeah.
Well, not say like that. But you're right though. But it was very like dark and depressed until that point.
So
it was.
Once you start taking drugs, it's all like light and like happy. I'm like, oh my God.
Well. So what happened, what I think happened is when they first made the introduction stuff, I think they wanted to show you the dark, eerie world of what they were living in and as the firefighters responding to these things. But to
show how dangerous it was.
What it was. But what they did,
by a snake.
What I think they did that made it kind of slow and boring was they put too many dramatic moments where there were long drawn out parts with no background music and no extra stuff. They do that for the extra suspense and extra drama. They just kind of overused that, which I was kind of like, okay, I get it. Dramatic. I get it. He's dead. I get it.
I liked it.
But when it finally got to the time travel stuff, I was like, oh, movie's good.
Well,
now.
no,
Yeah.
because
This movie's good.
they ended up tying those deaths in at the end. Like
Right.
you saw,
Yeah, it all comes together
You
at the
saw why. Yeah, you saw why, like, or why they died the way they did, type of thing.
Now, what
Yep.
we won't spoil, we're not going to spoil this. We're not going to spoil his journey of experiments because it's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
that you got to watch it. So we won't tell you anything that happens with the experiments, but they're really interesting.
Yeah, you got to see it.
You got to watch that
You got to
part.
watch it. Very cool.
That's when the movie got really good for me. The movie started out bleh, and then it got really good.
yeah.
That way I'll know every possible way I'll be able to bring Brianna back.
So the ending,
I liked it.
the ending, it was a good ending. It was a good ending. It was just kind of predictable.
I liked the ending, but
Yeah.
you definitely saw it coming from
That's fine.
You know, a mile away.
That's
yeah,
fine,
you saw it
though.
coming from a mile away. So, but this is
But,
the
but
most
sometimes that's okay though.
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
okay.
saying.
It's
Yeah.
easily the most interesting time travel movie I've ever seen.
Same.
Most interesting.
It's the only.
Yeah.
It's really one of the only time travel movies that I've ever watched
I'm not
and actually
saying,
liked.
I'm not saying like this is the greatest movie ever. It just is really interesting.
If you're
the
into
way
the
they
time
took
travel, you might actually still like this, like me. I was always like, these guys are nerds. I don't care about the sci-fi
Well,
stuff.
why am I?
Yeah.
not now?
Yeah, you like it too.
Yeah.
And I actually really enjoyed it. So
Yeah,
it's a
and with all that said-
totally different take, totally different aspect of time travel.
With all that said,
Very
it doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't happen, but who
No,
cares?
so
It's still really
It
interesting.
could happen. I still.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But
I don't know.
I do have two gripes with the movie. Two small gripes.
Go for it.
One gripe is the way that they filmed it. They put so much film grain on the movie that it looked old. Like the quality of the film looked old because
Yeah.
they put a lot of film grain into it,
Mhm.
and that's just a stylistic thing.
Didn't catch it.
It just do it for me. I didn't like it.
Didn't catch it.
And then the second thing I didn't like was the long drawn out moments.
So,
Let's just rate it because I think we all liked it. We each had gripes.
I did like it,
Let's
yeah.
just go down the line.
I'm gonna go 7.3.
Ooh.
all right, I'm gonna go with an 8. I actually really did
Oh.
enjoy it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. This is
I-
an odd turn of events because I'm gonna go a 6.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go a 6.
Okay, that's
I
surprising.
I'm gonna go
thought you would
6.
go. I
No,
thought you'd go way
no,
higher.
and
I
I'll
thought
tell
this
you
would be.
why.
I thought it'd be way up your alley.
If the
I thought
beginning,
too, yeah.
it was. If the beginning could be just like the end, this would be an 8.
See-
but the beginning bored me to death.
It did, but my thing is, it ended strong though, and
Yeah. It
ended
what you-
really
what
strong.
what you remember is the ending.
It ended
Yeah,
really strong.
I powered
It's-
through the beginning.
Hey, it's
The-
not.
the
it's
beginning-
not. It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
Well, the beginning
Yeah,
knocked
yeah,
2
yeah.
clicks off for me. 2 clicks. It would have been easily. This movie could have easily been a hard 8 for me if the beginning was as good as the
I mean,
second
it's
half.
still an 8 for me. Is any closing thoughts for you?
Go watch it, like and subscribe, watch it, and then let these guys know why they're right, why they're wrong.
All right, we're out.